Here's why Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, and more celebrities were name-dropped at Sean Diddy Combs' trial.
Imagine stepping into a hushed federal courtroom expecting routine questions. Do you trust law enforcement? Have you ever served on a jury? And suddenly hearing, do you recognize Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, Kanye West, Kid Cutie? That surreal exchange is happening right now in Manhattan, where jury selection for Sean Diddy Combs has turned into a pop culture cross-examination. The once invincible mogul stands accused of sex trafficking, racketeering, and transporting women across state lines for prostitution. His fate will hinge on 12 ordinary New Yorkers who must set aside everything they know, or think they know.
Court started this morning with 45 potential jurors. The lawyers had hoped to cut that down to the final 12 plus 6 alternates, but now that'll have to wait until Monday.
About a figure who dominated music, fashion, and nightlife for 3 decades. Cameras are banned, no live stream, no TikTok snippets, just graphite sketches and frantic note-taking. Judge Aaron Subramanian, famous for a stopwatch approach to scheduling, kicked off voir dire on May 5th.
The trial will start tomorrow, beginning with jury selection at a federal courthouse in Manhattan. Testimony.
Each prospect received a 60-question packet that starts with age and occupation, but ends with a 190-name celebrity checklist. A single flicker of recognition, an eyebrow raise at Cassie Ventura's name, a grin at Kanye West, triggers follow-up drills.
Actors Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, and rapper Kanye West. While the aforementioned celebrities are not implicated in the case,
have you streamed any songs featuring Puff Daddy in the last year? Did you like or comment on that 2016 hallway video? Have you read gossip linking Kid Cudie's car explosion to the defendant? Those answers decide whether someone becomes juror number 6 or heads back to the subway. Why the celebrity roll call? Because fame is sticky. It sneaks into judgment. Prosecutors worry lifelong Diddy fans might forgive anything. The defense fears social justice crusaders might assume guilt on sight. Subramanian's goal: expose every bias, whether admiration, envy, or outrage, before opening statements begin. At the center of this list is Cassie Ventura. She met Combs at 19, fell into a decade-long on-again, off-again relationship, and says the experience broke her. Jurors have seen the viral intercontinental hallway video, Cassie running barefoot while Diddy, clad only in a towel, chases, punches, and drags her. Defense lawyers insist the footage is spliced and stripped of context. The judge has ruled jurors will see it. Cassie will testify under her own name, describing what she calls freak-offs laden with drugs, cameras, and male workers. Any juror who remembers her R&B hit Me and You already carries a mental file. Lawyers must know that before the verdict is written. Michael B. Jordan appears on the questionnaire because he took Cassie on a single date in 2015, a date that insiders say enraged Diddy.
In the Diddy case, Diddy threatened Michael B. Jordan for flirting with Cassie.
Jordan won't testify, but the anecdote could illustrate jealousy and control. If a juror idolizes the Creed star, sympathy might tilt toward Cassie. Mike Myers makes the list thanks to an Austin Powers gag, Dr. Evil's E. Diddy tattoo after a prison stint, a playful jab at Combs' bombastic image. It's a tiny joke, yet it seeded the idea that Diddy equals excess. A juror who quotes that film might unconsciously dismiss the mogul as a caricature. Kid Cudie's name surfaces because his sports car exploded outside his home soon after rumors he dated Cassie. No charges stuck to Diddy, but prosecutors may use the incident to suggest retaliation. If a juror loves day and night, they need to admit it. Admiration can sway reason. Kanye West lands on the sheet for sheer hip-hop proximity. In March, West released a track crediting Puff Daddy and featuring his son King Combs. Jurors who follow every Ye headline bring hot opinions on fame, controversy, and alliance. Dallas Austin dated Diddy's late ex Kim Porter. Lorianne Gibson choreographed his TV shows. Harve Pierre shepherded countless bad boy albums. Each insider could testify about logistics, who booked flights, who delivered cash, who signed NDAs. Even Michelle Williams of Destiny's Child appears. Her exact link remains unclear, but one overlapping studio session could introduce her name as context. Jurors must declare whether those names stir anything, because subconscious loyalty or loathing can tip deliberations. Beneath the celebrity dazzle lie grim allegations. Prosecutors say Combs ran a sex-for-sale empire for more than 20 years. A machinery of assistants, security guards, pilots, and confidants tasked with recruiting women, supplying narcotics, filming sex acts, and delivering hush money. 5 felony counts loom: racketeering conspiracy, life in prison possible. Trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, minimum 15 years, maximum life. A sex trafficking count: same range. 2 counts of interstate transportation for prostitution, each up to 10 years. The indictment paints parties nicknamed freak-offs, where paid escorts mingled with women prosecutors say were drugged and coerced. Federal raids on his Los Angeles and Miami estates seized cocaine, ketamine, and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Props, agents argue, for marathon orgies filmed for the defendant's library. Combs' legal team calls the government's portrait outrageous. Lead lawyer Mark Agnifilo insists these were consensual adult encounters, protected by contracts and hefty appearance fees. He portrays Combs as a modern swinger whose tastes, though flamboyant, are lawful.
I believe he's innocent, and we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight anymore.
Defense filings call Cassie and the other accusers former long-term girlfriends, angry over breakups and eager for payouts. They note Cassie agreed to a confidential settlement after filing her civil suit, proof they say that the accusations are a cash grab. A rumored plea deal, 18 to 25 years plus asset forfeiture, was rejected. Combs is gambling on acquittal. If he loses, he could forfeit the Bad Boy music catalog, his Ciroc vodka stake, De Leon tequila profits, and real estate from Beverly Hills to Nassau. Evidence jurors will see goes far beyond the hallway clip. Encrypted texts setting up freak-offs with times, hotels, and guest lists. Private jet manifests with victims' names and passport scans. Hotel folios ordering champagne, MDMA, and specific brands of baby oil. Hard drives containing hours of explicit footage seized in raids. Medical reports documenting bruises victims say they suffered during forced acts. NDAS paired with 6-figure wire transfers labeled consulting. Prosecutors will argue the data forms a seamless chain: invitation, travel, drugs, abuse, hush money. Defense experts plan to challenge video authenticity, metadata gaps, and the idea that payment equals coercion. Judge Subramanian's calendar is relentless. Jury by week's end, opening statements Monday the 12th, trial days 9 to 4 with 2 15-minute breaks. Nights inside Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center are starkly different. Combs rises at 5, leads push-ups for cellmates, studies legal pads under humming fluorescence, and hums old gospel hooks. 8 months inside have shaved about 15 pounds and streaked his beard with gray. But each morning, marshals let him trade khaki for cashmere. No belts or shoelaces, but the defense hopes the contrast sparks sympathy. Beyond guilt or innocence, the trial has triggered brand tremors. Diageo froze global Ciroc campaigns. Revolt TV suspended Combs' voting power. Vintage Sean John jackets vanished from luxury resale sites. 2 rival record labels confirmed federal subpoenas patterned after the Combs indictment, hinting at wider industry fallout. If jurors convict on racketeering, a life sentence is likely. Trafficking convictions carry mandatory minimums of 15 years each. Even partial guilt could chain him for decades. Civil lawyers, more than 120 and counting, are cued to pounce with damages. If jurors acquit, prosecutors face accusations of overreach, and Diddy's empire may attempt a comeback. Either way, the verdict will echo through conversations about fame, power, and consent. So imagine yourself in that jury box. The judge just asked if you know Mike Myers. You chuckle, remembering Dr. Evil's E. Diddy tattoo. Could you stifle that grin and weigh encrypted texts and sworn tears without bias? Could you forget every remix, every meme, every tabloid headline? That answer now belongs to 12 New Yorkers. Their decision will decide whether Sean Diddy Combs walks into a mansion sunset or spends the rest of his days behind bars replaying his own soundtrack on a prison radio. And as they deliberate, we'll be here, breaking down every name drop, every gasp, every legal twist that moves the needle toward conviction or freedom. Stay locked in, subscribe, hit the alert bell, and drop your verdict prediction in the comments. Because the next celebrity reference, the next juror confession, could change the course of this entire trial and the culture that made the king.